Hello everyone, it's Record, and the teams for MCC 21 have been announced. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you my honest predictions on who I think is going to win the event. And without further ado, let's just get right into it. Also, only a very small percentage of my viewers are actually subscribed, so consider subscribing because it's free and it makes my day. Alright, so first up we have the Crimson Krakens with Captain Sparkles, Karkarovis, Krinios, and Curtsy. Now, right off the bat, they did change Captain Sparkle's name to a K because it's the Krimson Krakens. So, everyone's a K, and it's kind of a funny joke. But overall, I think this team is decently good. I don't know if Krinios is gonna do amazing because he hasn't played in a while. But he's definitely an above average role player, I would say. Kara, she's she does her own thing. Curtsy, he's cracked like he usually is, and Captain Sparkles, he's probably not gonna come third. I'd probably put this team in like eighth, maybe ninth. Not to be like brutally, I'm just like being honest, really, not to be like brutal, but this team isn't that strong. And yeah, they're not that strong, but they could pop off in a couple of games, I think. Next up, we have the Orange Ocelots with Elena Xe, or I don't know really how to say her name, but Elena, Illumina, Filza, and Chubble. Now, this team's actually pretty darn strong. Illumina and Phil have been a long-awaited duo in MCC, and it's gonna be funny to watch their VOD when it comes out because they're gonna have a pretty good. It's gonna have a weird chemistry vibe that could be pretty cool. And Elena and Shovel are definitely gonna be two really good role players. It's kind of like the Orange team from last time. Elena and Shovel are like Captain Puffy and Elena, and then Illumina and Phil are kind of like Puns and Purpled. So it's a very similar vibe to last time. But it definitely could be different because they have very different personalities, except for Elena. She's the same. But yeah, this team could definitely do pretty strong. I would say they probably be like fourth, maybe. They definitely are top five, probably fourth, maybe fifth, maybe third. Third's kind of pushing it though. I'd probably put them at fourth. All right, next up we have the Yellow Yaks with Rendog, Smallish Beans, Flip. Alright, next up we have the Yellow Yaks with Rendog, Smallish Beans, Flip, and Fruit Berries. Now I think this team's actually doing pretty well. They have Ren, who's always a great role player. They have Smallish Beans, aka Joel, who's always underrated, but he's starting to get noticed by a lot of people. You have Flip, who's always great at MCC. He's always above average. He's always doing great at what he does. And then you have Fruit Berries, who's fruit, and he does amazing stuff, and he's just cracked, and he's one of the best MCC players ever. So if we're gonna get into it, I think this team would do really well because they have all around greats. Like I know like Ren, Smallish, and Flip all know each other pretty well, I think. And Fruit's definitely a really good leader for this kind of team. So I think this team's not gonna do great, but they're I think they might get seventh. I would put them at seventh. I think that's a decent ranking for them because besides Fruit, they don't really have anyone that can pop off. Joel can pop off, but only to an extent. Flip doesn't really pop off. He just does his job, but he's really good at it. Rendog doesn't really pop off, but in dodgeballs, he can do really well. But I don't think they're going to make it there. So other than the Fruit, they don't really have anyone that can, spice it up. So I think they're going to end up in seventh. But this is the team I'm cheering for. So I hope they do really well. And I'm going to watch them because I think Fruit's really going to do really good. And the rest of the team is going to be pretty fun to watch. All right, next up we have the Lime Llamas with Good Times to Scar, Green, Pizza Hut, and Solidarity. Now I think this team's overall a decently good team. I think they're very well rounded with Scar having his I don't really know what his specialty in MCC is yet. He's only played once, so I don't really know, but Grian has his, Bill Mart kind of thing going. Pete definitely with PvP and hole in the wall. And Solidarity is usually good at what Grian's good at, and then he's also decent. I mean, not decent. He's below average at PvP, but he can hit some people when he wants to. But overall, I think this team's definitely I put them at fifth. I think this team's not that great, but also not that bad. I think they're right in the middle at fifth. Leave a like and subscribe if you agree with me, because I don't really know about this team. This team's kind of very interesting. It's a very interesting team. Next up, we have the Green Geckos with Dream, Niachu, Tommy in it, and Sylvie. Now, this team is not amazing. I definitely think they're gonna have a similar outcome to what they had back in what was it, MCC 17? Yeah, it was 17. Dream and Tommy are a duo again, and they're not great, but they are very much hilarious to watch, especially in Sky Battle. That was pretty funny. Tommy was just having like stressing out, and Dream was just like giving him compliments every once in a while. But other than that, this team would have decently good chemistry. Dream and Sylvie have teamed, what? I think this is their third time teaming. Nikki has teamed with Tommy twice or something like that. Then Dream knows all these people. I think Dream could definitely lead them not that far. I don't think they're going to go that far. I think they'd probably be maybe 8th, maybe 6th, around that range. I don't know. I don't think they might do better than Yellow. I don't think they will though. I think Yellow's a better all-around team, and this team's mostly just Tommy carrying in Tommy doing really good in the PvP games, Dream doing better in the PvP games, and then Dream doing really good at the movement games, because Tommy's not great with movement, but I mean, he does have that auto clicker, but no one needs to know about that. I don't think Tommy's gonna use it though. Other than that, team's pretty good. Not great, well-rounded, but they're gonna be pretty funny to watch. Next up, we have the Cyan Coyotes with Cryptic Zeus, Sapnap, CPK, and Snifferish. I don't know if she's new. I think she's new. She might be new. I think they always try to add in at least one new player, so I'm pretty sure she's new. But this is actually a really interesting team because, one, you have the duo of Sapnap and CPK coming back, because Sapnap couldn't play with CPK last MCC because he had the ear infection. But Zeus, he's actually separated totally from the Simmers now. That's very interesting. Last time he played in MCC, no, not last time. Or last time he wasn't with the Simmers, or his first time he wasn't with the Simmers was in MCC 17 with Fruit Ninja and Vixella. He was with one other Simmer there, but now he's not with any Simmer. He's totally alone, which is going to be very interesting to see. He has been working on his PvP. He's had a PvP arc, I'm pretty sure. So it's going to be very interesting to see Zeus, and he might pop off. I don't know. I'm just really interested to see if he does. Sapnap's definitely going to be great at the PvP games. CPK is going to be pretty good. This team definitely could be in the top 5. I don't know because Zeus and Snifferish. I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that name, but Cryptic Zeus and Snifferish are two very independent variables, and I don't know if they're gonna come together with CPK and Sapnap as a team. But Sapnap always does great, but I think this team's definitely they're either gonna come in last or 9th. They're gonna. I don't know if they're definitely gonna do better than Red, I would say. I don't know. That's the thing, because I think Red's more well-rounded as a team than Cyan, but Cyan does have Sapnap, and Red does have Curtsy, but Curtsy doesn't pop, or Sapnap doesn't pop. Curtsy doesn't pop off like Sapnap can. So I don't know. Cyan might either be I don't know if I'm totally underestimating this team or not, but you guys might roast me in the comments section. But I think Sapnap definitely will carry this team. But I'm gonna put them at last right now. That might change because I might get roasted by people because I don't know. I have weird takes. Next up, we have the Aqua Axolotls with Antfrost, Bad Boy Halo, G-Nelly, and JoJo Solos. Now, right off the bat, this team definitely can have a lot of really good chemistry together. Bad and Ant know each other. Bad and G-Nelly, I think, are going to get along pretty well. JoJo and Ant, I think, are going to also get along really well. So overall, this team's going to have pretty good chemistry. But the thing is, will they be able to put the chemistry together? Because if they can, they'll be a pretty dangerous team to look out for. I know Bad's not that great. He doesn't really play MCC a lot. And when he does usually decent. Except for that one time on MCC, 16? I want to say 16. Yeah, 16 with Dream, him, Finn, and CPA. That was a special time because they popped off. But Bad's usually been carried to victory, but this time I think he's gonna really have to work for it. Because Antfrost definitely can be a really good team leader because he's been doing really well in the past MCCs. JoJo's always great. And this is what her first canon MCC because she was in Rising and then in All Star. So yeah, this is her first canon one. And I think she's gonna do really well. And G Nellie's always a great role player. So overall, I think this team can do really well, and I think they will do really well. So I'm hoping Aqua does good, but I think I'm probably gonna move them up into 4th, and then I'm gonna move Orange into 3rd. I think that would work out. Yeah. That would work out. Next up, we have the Blue Bats with 5 Up, Jack Manifold, Purple, and Tubbo. Now, I think this team could do really well. I don't think they're going to do that great. I'd probably put them at 6th, but I'm just going to say it. 5 Up is actually a really good MCC player. He's been having like the same kind of MCC career as Antfrost so far. They've both done really well in the past like 2 MCCs. Jack's always been doing pretty great. He's always a good role player to have as like a 4th option. Purple's always great. I mean, Purple was great last MCC. It was his first MCC. He got 16th. This time, I definitely think he could get in the top 10. I think he's definitely going to pop off this MCC, especially for this kind of team. And Tubbo, he's always great. And if they play Rocket Spleef, he's going to pop off again because he's always great at that game. So overall, I think they're going to do pretty well, but not as great. I don't think they're going to get in the top 10 or top 5. They could push into the top 5. I think they're in like the 6, 5, and 4 range. I already have teams at 5 and 4, so I'd probably put them at 6th. But they could definitely get like top 5 if they really want to, which I think they will because this is a very competitive team. Next up, we have the Purple Pandas with Ponk, Puns, Major, and Awesome Dude. Now, I actually think this team's going to do amazing because I have them as first. Ponk is a very good role player. But Puns can pop off. Puns is a top 5 MCC player in this MCC, I think, because Quig's not in, which is actually really surprising. So I think Puns could definitely get in there and get top 5, and I think he is because I think he's going to lead this team to a dodgeball, maybe an MCC dub. That's kind of hard to predict, but Smager and Awesome Dude are great 2nd and 3rd players to have on a team. So I think they're gonna have great chemistry because they all know each other from SMPs or from whatever. Because Scott knows everyone at some point because he's all invited them to MCC, but they all know each other mostly from the Dream SMP, except for Scott. But already said here, nowhere knows everybody. So I think that overall this team's gonna do amazing, the best in the events. I think they're gonna pop off and get first. Might be an unpopular take. I don't know about that one, but I don't know. If you agree with me, leave a like on the video because I'd really appreciate it. If you don't, comment down below why, because I'd really like to hear your opinion. And last but certainly not least, we have the Pink Parrots with George Not Found, Rambo, Sneak Snack, and Wilbur Soot. Now, this team I'm going to put in 2nd because this is the last team and the only place I have left is 2nd. And I'm saying that because George, Sneak, and Wilbur are all really good, like 3rd, maybe 2nd players sometimes. Like Sneak can pop off. He was a really good 3rd player on that. What was it? 18? No, it was 19. MCC 19. What was it? Aqua? I don't know. I keep forgetting. But it was whatever. It was 19's winning team. It was Aqua sign. It was one of the blue teams. But Sneak was a really good 3rd player on that team. Tommy was definitely, I don't know, just whatever. Anyways, Sneak was a really good player on that team, and Wilbur has been really good on the past couple teams. This team is a team that could definitely pop off at like Hole in the Wall and what was the other one? Sky Battle. Because George is pretty good at Sky Battle. Rambu's very good at Sky Battle. Very underrated at Sky Battle. Even though he had that one win, he hasn't really done anything since. But he can definitely do stuff in Sky Battle. Sneak, decently good at Sky Battle. Is very hungry for kills a lot of the time. And Wilbur's a classic player at Sky Battle. He's very, very good. But this team, I think, could definitely pop off in a lot of games. They know each other very well. George, not that much because he usually spends his time with the Dream Team. But other than that, they know each other very well. And it's going to be very funny to watch. But Rambo, Sneak, and Wilbur know each other very, very well. George knows them pretty much the same-ish. But George doesn't really, talk to them a lot of the time because he's doing his own thing, whatever he does. But, yeah, this team could definitely pop off. And if I was to pick a leader of this team, it'd probably be Wilbur or George. George doesn't really lead a lot of the times, but I think he could for this occasion. But Wilbur's always a great leader if you don't have one. Rambo, not really. Rambo is more of like a secondary role player. He gets you like hyped for games. And Sneak's just all around funny. And he's a genuine guy. So yeah, I think the Pink Parrots are gonna be great, and I think they're gonna get second. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like down below and subscribe because I'd really appreciate it. And hope you're hyped for MCC 21 because I am. Anyways, it's Ripcord. Have a blessed rest of your day. Peace.